Hello everyone, this is our new lecture of thermodynamics. We are here for GPSC RTO class 2 and class 3. So today's lecture is about first law of thermodynamics. This is the lecture number 4 and we are going to study about first law of thermodynamics. So what is the statement of first law of thermodynamics? First law of thermodynamics states that energy is neither created and not destroyed. Okay, it can be converted from one form to another. Energy is always conserved. This is the statement of first law of thermodynamics, as we all know about it. Okay, and this is the basic of the thermodynamics, and it is also basic of the nature. Okay. This statement further referred as first law of thermodynamics. We already studied about it in our class 11th, class 12th about conservation of energy, and this is also called as first law of thermodynamics. Okay. So first law of thermodynamics defines the internal energy. What? First law of thermodynamics defines the internal energy. And what is the internal energy actually? Internal energy is defined as amount of energy required to create a system. Okay, if we want to create any system, then how much energy required is called as internal energy of that system. Okay, energy required for create a system. It is also defined as stored energy in a system. If their system is exist, then it has some stored energy, and the stored energy associated with that system is called its internal energy. Okay, Joule experiment suggests that internal energy is the function of temperature. What Joule suggests that? Joule suggests that internal energy is the function of temperature. U is function of temperature. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? It means if any system has higher temperature, then its internal energy is also higher, and if any system has low temperature, then we call that system has also internal energy is low. Now what is the properties of internal energy? We will discuss about it. Internal energy is an extensive property. It means internal energy depends upon the mass. Okay, internal energy is also the form of energy, and we know that all energy are extensive properties. Okay, and it is a point function. Okay, so internal energy is the property, so it is also the point function. Okay, and it is point function, therefore it is exact differentiation. Okay, we can differentiate it in exact. Okay, so it is exact differentiation, and we know that if we apply the word specific, then that extensive property is converted into intensive property. It means specific internal energy means internal energy divided by mass is intensive property. Okay, so we completed internal energy. Now we are applying our first law of thermodynamics for cycle. Okay, how we can apply our first law of thermodynamics on cycle? Let's see. First law of thermodynamics for a cycle. Okay, what is cycle? Cycle means its initial and its final state is same. Okay, see here there is a PV diagram in which there is one cycle. Okay, we are start from initial state I and we reach again final state 5 F, and I is equal to F. Okay, both are identical. Then we can say that internal energy at I is equal to Ui, and internal energy at F is equal to UF, both are equal. Okay, so for a cycle, how we can apply our first law of thermodynamics? For a cyclic process, the net heat transfer in cycle must be equal to net work transfer from the cycle. Okay, here we are giving heat, okay, which is dq, okay, and we getting work from this cycle is dw. Then our first law of thermodynamics says that cyclic integral of dq is equal to cyclic integral of dw. It means the total heat supply is totally get converted into work. Okay, this is our basic law, first law of thermodynamics for cycle. Okay, now we move to our next page. Now we are applying our first law of thermodynamics for a process. How we apply our first law of thermodynamics to process? It says that for a process, the net heat transfer to a system is equal to sum of change in internal energy and work transfer from the system. What it's mean? If any process, okay, then we are supplying heat, okay, then dq is equal to du plus dw. It means for a process, if we are supplying heat, then it is equal to change in its internal energy and we are getting work from it. Okay, so how we can apply our first law of thermodynamics to a process? The net heat transfer to a system is equal to sum of change in internal energy and work transfer from the system. Okay, let us consider PV diagram. Okay, so here initial state I and the final state F. Okay, internal energy at initial state I is equal to Ui and at F is equal to Uf. Okay, this is one process. We are moved from I to F. Okay, we are supplying dq amount of heat and this dq amount of heat is equal to the change in internal energy, means the internal energy of this system is changed from Ui to Uf and we are getting work which is dw. So is dq is equal to du plus dw. Let's take one example. Same as PV diagram, there is internal energy at I is equal to 18 kilojoule, internal energy at F is equal to 60 kilojoule. We are supplying heat at 80 kilojoule and now we are calculating how much amount of work we are getting. So our formula is dq is equal to du plus dw. So we are supplying heat, okay, heat is supplied here, so we take it as positive. Change in internal energy is changing from how much it is changed, 18 to 60. Okay, so final 60 minus 18 and we are getting work, so work is positive. Okay, 100. So 60 minus 18 it equals to minus 20 and minus 20 plus 100 is equal to 80. Okay, so left hand side then is equal to right hand side. It means what it means? It means our heat supply is conserved. Okay, it is used in a change in internal energy and we are getting work from it, and the amount of both is as same as we supply what amount of heat. Okay, now we are taking one example that our this process is get converted into a cycle. Okay, this process is going to convert it into cycle. let's see here, we are moving from I to F and then F to I. Okay, so internal energy at I is equal to Ui, at F is equal to Uf, and again we move from I. Okay, so from our equation for process, first law of thermodynamics for process, integration from initial to final for dq is equal to integration from I to F from du plus I to F from dw. Okay, so this is the inexact differentiation, so we write as it q I to F, internal energy as a property we write as Uf minus Ui, and here dw is also imperfect integral, so we write is Wif. Okay, then we same apply for, we are going from Uf to Ui, then we apply it for our first law of thermodynamics, Uf to Ui is equal to Ui minus Uf plus Uf minus Ui. Okay, then we are completed one cycle, adding both we get this Uf and Uf is cancel, and this Ui and Ui cancel, and we get this equation. It means cycle integral of dq is equal to cyclic integral of dw. Okay, so here we prove that for cycle the our first law of thermodynamics is cyclic integral of dq is equal to cyclic integral of dw. Okay, now we are moving for our next topic, which is for a closed process. Okay, dq is equal to du plus dw. This is the first law of thermodynamics for process. dq is equal to du plus pdv, as we proved that dw is equal to pdv in our previous lecture. Okay, we know that. Now what here says that for constant volume, okay, constant volume, this dv equals to 0 and dq become equals to du. Now we know that dq is equal to cv dt. Okay, then we integrating from 1 to 2, du is equal to 1 to 2 cv dt. Okay, then u2 minus u1 is equal to cv t2 minus t1. Okay, then u2 equals to cv t2. Okay, it means internal energy is the function of cv and t. Okay, this totally depends on the temperature. Okay, and the enthalpy, okay, we will study further, is the function of cp and t. Internal energy at, we are supplying heat at constant volume, and temperature is increase of system. Okay, so this is the end of our lecture. Thank you very much. And if you want PDF, then you can follow me on Telegram, which one is this. Okay, you will get full PDF of this lecture. Thank you.